Hello, and welcome back to the Beyond Paranormal Investigations podcast. I'll be your host, Nathan Smith. Now, today we have another guest with us with yet another story. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. Are you ready?
I think I am.
All right. Let's hear it.
All right, well, um, this is my very first paranormal experience, and, the very first one I can remember. I was probably about 13, and ever since I was little, I had trouble sleeping. So, I was really trying hard to go to sleep, and I think I may have gotten to sleep for a couple seconds, but whenever I woke back up, I was laying in my bed, just all normal, but I couldn't move. And across my bedroom, I saw what looked like a probably, 7-year-old boy. And he was real pale and looked at me like, "What are you looking at me for?" He was looking at me really strange, like I wasn't supposed to be there or something, or like he was kind of scared of me. And I had this, for some odd reason, I had my bookcase in the middle of my room, like it wasn't against the wall or anything. And I blinked. Whenever I opened my eyes back up, the boy was hiding behind the bookshelf. And I blinked again, and he was just gone. And it was really, really weird. I'm not entirely sure to this day if it was just a weird dream or not, but it was, to the point where I could feel myself breathing, I could feel myself blinking. It wasn't dreamlike, but at the same time, I couldn't move, so it wasn't like being completely awake. It was really strange. And back then, me and my friends liked to break into old abandoned houses and play around and exploring them. I know that's bad, but it was really, really fun. So we would do that a lot. And one of our favorites was in Reeves. And it was this two-story old yards all grown up house. And inside it, everything had just been like thrown around. Like somebody just threw a hissy fit and threw all their furniture around and then just left. The house was a wreck, and it was kind of creepy to like walk through because you were afraid that there would be like a spider or a snake or something, and it was just gonna like jump out and get you because all the clutter and stuff, or like a raccoon or something. And in one room, we found all these old like love letters from a girl who apparently lived there to this guy that her father didn't approve of. But that's not the point. And one day, we finally worked our courage up into exploring the creepy attic. So we were going up there. We had our flashlights. We were all 13, 14-year-old girls, and we were squeaking and giggling and screaming, all scared and stuff. And whenever we went upstairs in the attic doorway, right in the floor, I was the first one to walk in there. I found this family picture. It was like from the early 90s, probably. And in the very middle of the picture was a spitting image of that boy that I'd seen just probably a few days before. It was really creepy. He looked really sad, and he had that same, like, scared, half shitless look on his face. So, I took that picture with me and told my friends what, I found and explained to them, I had a really weird dream about this boy. And one of the girls I was with, which honestly, this is probably a bunch of bull hockey, said that she could have sworn that she saw out of the corner of her eye a boy's face in the bathroom mirror. But like I said, that part's probably a bunch of bull hockey, knowing this girl. So, but who knows? Maybe she was telling the truth for once. But anyways, later on, I kept seeing this boy. One dream was really weird with this boy in it. It made like literally no sense. In this dream, I was a little girl, and girl, and the picture the day after, I looked back at it, and maybe I was just like remembering her from the picture. And I was this little girl, and I was like running through the house, and the father figure, I didn't see him or anything, but the mad, angry, yelling, manly voice. So I just assumed it was the father figure was screaming something. I don't remember what it was. And then somehow I was a little boy, and the mother figure came up like behind me, and I was a little boy, and she stuck a needle in the back of my neck. It was really strange, but I felt like the needle go into the back of my neck, and it was creepy. Like I said, that dream makes no sense, but that's what happened in the dream. And after that, I kept seeing the little boy again and more, just regular dreams where I'd just be standing somewhere, and then he'd be there, and then he'd be gone. And his appearance was just like slowly getting like darker and darker looking. Like at first he looked like a normal little boy who just had normally albino skin, and then he just started getting like creepy looking until he sort of kind of resembled the boy from The Grudge, except not Asian. But he was just really creepy looking, and whenever he would come into my dreams then, it was like he was trying to attack me, and it was really strange. I mean, after a while, he just disappeared, and I didn't hear from him again or see him again, which, was nice, since he wasn't being so nice after a while, but it was really, really strange. Like, really strange. Haven't been back to that house in a really long time. We didn't go to it much after I told them all that little ghost story, and it freaked all of us teenage girls out. But it was really, really strange. And that was the very first time anything paranormal had happened to me, so it was even more strange. It was really, really frightening. And that's about it.
Did you ever go back and investigate into it?
Well, I went back to the house, and I was trying to find any indication of who that boy might be. I found something, some sort of medical records or something with a boy's name on it. I'm not sure if it was that boy or there were like a bunch of kids in that family photo. I don't know if it was like if those were all actually their kids or if they were just like their kids and some friends or something. But I found a piece of paper, like I said, a medical record with the name Simon on it. But other than that, I didn't find anything that might even possibly be relevant.
Have you gone back there to the house recently?
I haven't been back there in a long time. I've driven by it one time, but the reason that we had to stop going there was because hobos started living in that house, and we didn't want to like walk in on a hobo and it'd be like a crazy hobo or something, and him saying, "Oh no, they found out that I'm living in this house. I better shake these girls," That would have been bad.
Hello to the imagery.
Yeah. Yeah, then there'd be another ghost story in that house.
Do you have any advice for any of these youngins out here that want to do a little, I hate the phrase ghost hunting, but paranormal investigation of their own?
Well, first of all, if it's something that seems more like an evil entity, don't feed it your fear, because that's just going to make it come after you more, because that might be what it wants. And also, if you see something like, oh, the dust moved in the corner of my house in a weird way, that must be a spirit. Don't just assume that everything's paranormal, because a lot of the times there's a very reasonable explanation for it, like that bump in your ceiling. There might not be a ghost in your attic. It might just actually be a possum chewing up all your electrical wires, and then you're too scared to go check in your attic for a a ghost, and really it's just a possum, and then the possum chews up all your electrical wires, and then you're out of electricity, and then you're even more scared for no reason because it's just a possum. And, just don't assume that everything's a spirit. One time I saw this really weird light in my hallway, and it started freaking me out a little bit until I went up and looked at it, and it was just, I had hung up this CD, and it was just a light outside reflecting off the CD, which was like spinning around and stuff, and the air from the air vents. And, I mean, it looked really creepy, but it was just like, really simple explanation. So don't assume that just because something seems kind of weird that it's paranormal.
All right. Well, I thank you for being on the show and sharing your exciting story with us.
Well, thank you for having me on the show. I enjoyed it.
All right. Hopefully we'll hear from you another time.
You probably will. I've got a whole bunch of stories. None of them are too long, but sure got enough of them.
All right. Well, thank you again.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Well, all right. Before I close out and say goodnight to you guys, there's this very interesting book that I want to tell you about. It's called Historic Haunted America by Michael Norman and Beth Scott. This is a very interesting book, and it's filled just every page with different haunting sites and different stories from different states. And if you ever get a chance to go to your local library or anything and pick this book up, trust me, it's definitely worth it. Well, good night, guys. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And as always, if you have any stories to share with us, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, if you have any questions, or if there's a topic you would like to hear discussed on the show, you can reach me at thebeyond_pi@hotmail.com. All lowercase. Again, thebeyond_pi@hotmail.com. Or you can join my group on Facebook, The Beyond Paranormal Investigations. Good night, and thanks for listening, everybody.